but ensures that the implementation of it. You know, we have police reforms of 2006 judgment which are not being implemented by the politicians. So, you know, it's one thing to have a passing reference and an observation being made during the course of a case. It's quite another when you come down heavily on the entire class and say that this far and no further. I would like to say two things out here, Arnab, which are extremely important. One, it is not only the red beacon which actually has now become a sense of I have arrived in the society. It is my time to now rule over the people. It should be exactly the opposite. If you are a sensitive politician, and politicians are not politicians are people who serve the community. It is a service to the community, it is a service to the nation. But it has all become all about self-serving individuals who want to amass the public exchequer's money and not only arrive in terms of the red beacon, but arrive in terms of the wealth that they accumulate at the expense of the public exchequer. And secondly, and more importantly, I think it's not only about the red beacon and the innumerable, huge amount of security personnel. I was surprised about a year back. I was at the Delhi airport, and one of the former chief ministers, she had almost about 100 security men and 50, luxury cars, where almost 49 of them were used by security personnel. So, see the amount of wastage of public money, and yet we say that the politician should have the last call. I would make a call to the nation that we should actually publicly shame these people. And for the media, I think it is important that you actually focus on every leader when he gets into the parliament or into the assembly and show that these are the guys who are using the red beacons.
Well,
and shame
I
them
think that's a very good idea, Rahul.
And finally,
it's a very good idea, and I'd like to
just one more thing.
Okay.
Arnab, one more thing. Which I want to place before the people through your medium is that, you know, it's not about red beacons. It's about the huge amount of public asset in terms of land that they are accumulating in Luton's Delhi and all the other states in the city, in the various states, where, you know, politicians are sitting on 4 acres like Maharajas, like what the British era.
I get your point, but let me actually I'll come to Rahul.
Rahul,
I appreciate your views on amassing of land, etc. But I just want to make one point before I come back to Aryaman, because Aryaman Sundaram wanted to come in, that this issue came in before parliamentarians. And some MPs put the following argument, Mr. Sundaram. There was a man called Arjun Ram Meghwal of the BJP, I think. He said even an additional district magistrate gets a lal batti. But an MP, I represent lakhs of people. Why am I deprived of it? So you see, that is... And they were supported by Congress MPs, BSP MPs, JDU MPs and Trinamool MPs. And then they said that if we have a lal batti, we will be able to serve the people better.
Arnab, I would like to make a point.
Yeah, no, Mr.
Arnab, can I answer there?
Yeah, please, Mr. Sundaram, go ahead.
Look, I believe that we are somewhere missing the plot over here. I heard what Rahul had just said, and I'm afraid I don't agree with him to this extent. And let me tell you why. He seems to feel this is a modern phenomenon. It is not a modern phenomenon. It's as old as mankind is. From the very beginning of mankind, everybody wanted some emblem, some insignia of honor, of respect, to show that he is one above everybody else. Are you aware that in the 90s, a judge of the Madras High Court actually passed a judicial order that judges should be given red lights on their cars and not have to follow traffic signals? It is an actual order passed by a judge of the Madras High Court. Now, the fact I'm trying to make out, wait a moment, the fact that I'm trying to state here is, I'm glad that today we have become aware. We have become aware that this has reached a proportion which has become absolutely ridiculous, where somebody turns around and says, look, if he can have it, why can't I have it?
Precisely.
And what it's really become is keeping up with the Joneses or one more than the other person.
Yeah.
But where it really starts from is the citizen himself, who, once he occupies a position, wants to show that he has occupied that position, wants to show his importance.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. And what has really happened is that this attitude has been there for many years. But what I'm glad is, because of the overuse of it And too many citizens who take positions wanting to use this, that people like you and I have now stood up and said, look, there's something wrong here. And I'm glad to say that the Supreme Court has said there's something wrong.
Well, it's good. Okay, Rahul,
it really
brief
starts not from the government.
Can I
It
respond
starts
to what
from
Mr. Sundaram just said,
it
Arnab?
starts from the citizen.
Brief rebut from Rahul, then I go back to KC Singh. Yes, briefly, Rahul.
Arnab, I don't think Mr. Sundaram really got my point or appreciated what I said. I think he's completely misconstrued the proposition that I was placing before you. It's not about that it's not been there as old as mankind. But if there are wrong principles being set, and India is a democracy, it's about we the people. Our constitution starts with the words, we the people. But has the ruling class...
Exactly, and now we've become aware of it, and now we're doing something about it,
that point
and
about
I'm happy about that.
We are the rulers. We are the rulers in a
Yes.
democracy, and they are the subservient servants of us, the rulers.
Yes.
And it's exactly the opposite of what is happening, which is why there is one man, Arvind Kejriwal, of whom I very proudly am a member of that party, and I say that's the man who has said we won't get into these bungalows, we won't get into these cars, we will shun them all if you get us into power.
Well,
It's up to the people of India now to stand up and say this is the change that we want. If we really want change, then there is a change.
Thank you. I'll discuss the Aam Aadmi Party with you again.
People have to take.
I'll discuss the Aam Aadmi Party with you again, and I hope you are right. And when you come to power, I hope that you will implement what you are saying here. But let's not discuss the Aam Aadmi Party now. The question is more relevant.
Every word of it, Arnab. Every word of it will be implemented.
I have a direct question to the respected former DGP of Rajasthan. Tell me, Mr. Tiwari,
Yes,
you
Arnab.
had a red light on your car when you were DGP. Can you tell me from what rank onwards you had a red light or blue light or whatever light and siren on your car? And can you tell me as a follow-up of that, did it help you do your job better?
There's a government order which says that all district superintendents of police, all district collectors will wear the red light in the districts. In the division, it's a divisional commissioner and the Inspector General of Police of the range. And at the state level, it is the Chief Secretary, it is the Director General of Police and the Additional Chief Secretary of Home. So there are very, very limited number of bureaucrats who are allowed to wear the beacon.
Okay, now the follow-up question is, there are a lot
of people in the police headquarters or in the state secretariat.
Sir, follow-up question is, you've been DGP of Rajasthan. 1 minute,
without any orders.
Sir, the question is, you've been DGP of Rajasthan. Now, I know that several MLA equivalents in Rajasthan put the red light. Are they also entitled to? I don't think they are entitled to. And if they are not entitled to, or MPs,
no, they are not.
They are not. Then why is, I mean,
they are not.
I may sound a little impractical, but why was action not taken against them ever? Even sarpanches, why is none of these sarpanches or MLAs or MPs arrested for violating a rule, violating a basic rule of the Constitution of India? Is there a fear that, politicians, you can't touch them kind of thing?
No, Arnab, it is not a cognizable offence on which you can register an FIR. You cannot make an arrest on that count.
Sir, no, but you can take suo moto action. You can remove the red light.
Offense.
No, you can remove a red light. You can take suo moto action. You can say I am allowed, but you are not.
That is true. They can be removed.
But why has not one MLA's red light ever been removed?
Then they start all over again.
No, watch it. I know many people. I'm hosting this program from Mumbai. I know many people who are MLA equivalent people who put a red light on. This is not for you. I'm asking you, why has no Sarpanch, MLA or MP's red light ever been removed in the history of independent India when they have been committing this illegality for so many years? Why?
Because
no, I do agree with what you have to say.
The law.
I do agree to what you are saying, that yes, these lights should have been removed by some authorities or the other. Yes, I do agree with
that. And KC Singh, because you have served abroad, may I ask you, sir, KC, whether you know the equivalent of the deputy member of the deputy chairman of the planning commission, or the equivalent of a minister of state or a deputy minister, or the equivalent of a public service commission chairman or member uses red lights anywhere in, say, the United Kingdom?
In the West, it's absolutely out of the question. You will not find it. Arnab, I win in New York for the UN General Assembly sessions, when you have almost 100 odd heads of state in New York. The Secret Service moves them, but they move them with an escort to the UN and back. And that's it. And they move them. But there's no question of beacons and people with red lights on them running around New York. So there is certain control there. It is functional. I think we have to make this distinction that a person must use it for the limited purpose, for official area and within his designated area. The problem in Delhi is particularly acute because people from 6 or 7 neighboring states with their lights converge on Delhi and they keep using them in Delhi. Now it's absolutely uncalled for because they are coming from far away and these cars are running around Delhi and there is no check on them. So it needs controlling, it needs self-discipline, that you only use it for that area for the limited purpose for your official functioning. Now, Member of Parliament saying, I represent so many people, let him use it in his constituency.
Mr. Subramaniam.
Let me give you one interesting example, Arnab. One interesting anecdote. There's a nephew of mine who used to be minister in Punjab. He will use it on the highway, but actually switch it off when he entered his constituency. Because he said, each time we use the siren, I lose 100 votes. So they realize that the public doesn't like it.
No, that's very true. But I also know additional advocate generals and advocate generals who use them in the most crowded traffic of Mumbai to get their way through. My last question, TSR Subramaniam, sir, you've been India's biggest, not the biggest, I would say the most senior bureaucrat at one point of time. Will your class, the bureaucracy, allow this perk to be taken away from them?
Well, it should be enforced. It has been heavily abused, as has been mentioned. Let me give you a very short anecdote. Long back when I was a student in London, we had Harold Macmillan, the then Prime Minister of England, was going in the same metro. He walked in with just one assistant carrying his own umbrella, carrying his own briefcase. His one guard was there and nobody even got up and gave him his seat. That is the kind of a culture we need to slowly bring. I agree entirely with Rahul. That people, one. Number two, it has to be functional, cannot be used for private purposes. Categories must be heavily limited. And only one last facetious point, only person probably by name should be Robert Vadra, based on past precedent.
Last word to T.S. Sudhir.
Arnab. Yes, Arnab, let me show another cartoon to you, which will make the point very clear. Can you show it quickly?
Go on, let's focus on that.
Let me say one thing, that, you know, on the program in the beginning, I believe you showed Mr. P.C. Chacko saying something. And what he said was that Supreme Court's observation doesn't mean anything to us. We will take the decision. And that is exactly the reason, because the problem begins from the top, not from the policeman or DIG or DGP or whoever. They cannot take the action because the problem begins at the top. MPs, MLAs, ministers, Prime Minister, everybody wants everybody to use the perks of power. That's the only problem.
Well, Sudhir Telang, thank you very much for that.